That's TQM on steroids. I love it. And there's a reason, and it's looking at systems and understanding and breaking them apart. But then there's this other area that is discontinuous. In fact, the recent publication on the psychology of leadership talks about the thinking that's involved in the brain activity, because we have all these, of course, aspects of real-time CAT scans and other brain analysis work. We can actually see how the brain looks for outages in standardization versus creating a brand new system, a discontinuous system, where the neural network, of course, is lit up overall. We can see the frustration of having change activate the brain, a problem set, and we can see the joy of an individual, and even more joy when that's a more complex, interdependent solution that then comes forth. We can see again the brain light up. This is joyful. We solved, we created, are two different things. And when we do it together, it's like, wow, let me have some more of that. So this issue of transformation, there's a set of tools, there's a set of approaches that are somewhat different than continuous improvement, somewhat different than standardization. What I'm here to tell you in the strongest, most direct way, you need to get on with transformation. This is not abandoned standardization, the 80% of your work. It is not abandoning the 15% of your organization's work doing continuous improvement, but it is mirroring the 5% of reconstructing, rethinking, in light of a tsunami attacking you, coming on shore, what is a new system going to look like? That's the big challenge. Because in the midst of the fire of today, in the midst of the burning platform, thinking about transformational change is hard to do. The organizations we work with, in fact, at one time we thought we could put these together. I don't know how we thought this at the time. I work with a number of researchers, academic researchers, teaching faculty, consultants, business people, and government officials. We form a collective here, do action research. So we're out there in the world asking what works and why does it work and can we make it. And so we said, well, if we want transformational change, we need to have those transformational discussions. Why are we here? What are we about? But we put those right on top of or right after some pragmatic, what are we going to do this week? We're not making goal. Budget is shot. What do we do? And guess what happened? Every time you put those two conversations together, the transformational conversation never happened. Because the brain said, I'm worried. I got problems to solve. The house is on fire. What are we going to do next? Where's the action list? And of course you add the tools of sensibility and a good problem solving, but you never got to the transformation. Why are we in this business? Not only where will the business be, where will our practice be, where will the work that we do, the clinical work we will do be 10 years from now, it's really why are we even in this business? Those conversations never happen. And we are uncomfortable with those conversations often because they're open-ended. They don't end up with an action, given our future vision of 10 years, 3 action steps, and we can take it off the agenda until next year's strategic planning session. Those aren't the conversations strategic planning's been turned upside down. It's an open-end, ongoing conversation. Why are we doing this, and why are we doing it this way? Often I would say the most misquoted quote in the world, no problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. It's often thought the thinking. It's not the thinking. It'd be easy if it was a thinking. It'd be easy if it was a mental issue. It's the consciousness. It's underlying. It's the assumptions of self. It's the assumption of life itself, of the connection of life, of consciousness, of collective consciousness, individual consciousness must shift. And so when we look at transformation and taking on the tools of transforming, we really have 4 areas that kind of stick out. We have the issue of self-mastery. Now, it'd be nice if we didn't have to worry about self-mastery and we could just put something in your coffee and have you be zombies and do what we tell you. I mean, that was really the Egyptian model. I liked it. I would have been Pharaoh. It would have worked for me. I said pyramid over there, and if you would have said pyramid over here as a slave, you know how long I had a head to think with, because I took it. It was pretty straightforward. Command and control worked for me. But self-mastery now says that I can't create the new unless I have creative spirits, not a creative mind, understanding. Problem-solving mind. The old saying, the management is of the mind, leadership is of the spirit, is ever so much true now. I need creative spirits. And I can't get those by channeling those. The tools of creativity are among transformational tools, but it really comes back to the spirit of creation. Interpersonal mastery. Get over diversity. Get over EQ. Those are old. We're talking about something radically different. Can you join up with people quickly in spirit-to-spirit conversations versus mind-to-mind conversation? That's how Google's different than IBM. That's how Nike is different from Procter & Gamble. That's how these organizations now work. You can't get into those organizations walking in a mind-to-mind conversation. You have to walk in with a spirit of what? Maybe it's a Nike swoosh tattooed to your rear. I mean, that's how much I'm into this. Your accounting abilities are secondary. They're not the primary. You always teach a skill. You're looking for the passion and the passion for us to do something together. Oh, I'm sorry. You also have value exchange. I'll just say that's re-looking at how we think of our exchange with the world itself. And these things are in flux. It's much more than a hamburger for dollars. McDonald's does something more than just sell burgers for dollars. They sell an experience. They sell hooking you on a nostalgia, so you'll take your kids there. They sell you on fastness. They send you on sameness, cleanliness. Those were all an evolution of the value exchange of McDonald's, Burger King's, everyone else. Yes, there's a value exchange in terms of dollars for burgers, but that's just one of many. There's a value exchange with PETA that even allows McDonald's to continue to operate. I tell you, in Germany, the value exchange with the German people is different, and in France especially, is different with the French and the Germans. The value exchange between the population and McDonald's is much different. Is it right or wrong? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's not about just burgers for dollars or Frank's. It's about all this complexity that actually moves forward in time. And that's where organizations have big breakthroughs and to re-examine those questions. And then finally, change methodologies. I'll spend no time on that because that's basically your tool set. And we've learned from past changes that giving a new software package, a new toolkit, and say, go forth and do this, is the least of our concerns. There's a lot of great tools, a lot of great approaches out there, but giving hammers and nails to people that don't know why they're doing carpentry isn't going to build a house. So you got to get past that and say, why do you want to build a house? Why do you want to build a house with us? And then what's the value exchange of you performing that? Until you have those conversations, the tools actually tend to be a facade that we hide behind and give them the tools and give them the training, and they don't get it, just send them back a second time, hold the head under the baptismal pool until they say amen, and those days are gone. So, in our inquiry, what is transformation? Rapid breakthrough change, new set of skills, new demand. Your fathers didn't have it, your mothers didn't have it, not to this extent. Maybe their leaders had it, but here it is at your doorstep, not only with you at work, but you on a personal basis. And now we want to shift to take a look at what does it mean in terms of how you get out of this mess, both you as a leader and you as a team. So, easy question to ask is, what have you done to succeed to this point? So in the current system, you're somebody. You get to go to the blast furnace of Arizona for a few days, and either as punishment or reward or something. I'm not sure what it was. Never say yes too quick. First time I went to Finland was, yeah, that sounds great. Let's go. January. No. Maybe I have to reconsider that. So, and a great book in terms of title, probably not worth a read at all, not even on Amazon skim it thing. But the great title, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. This is it. So something got you here. And what I would propose to you, not knowing you individually, well, some of you individually, but many of you from a collective standpoint, I would say what got you here was a great right-hand dribble.